And as we know, mask requirements still in effect across the state of Texas under Governor Greg Abbott's mask order. But there's one question being asked right now is, can masks be replaced with a shield instead? Governor Abbott's order states, quote, face coverings should be worn over the nose and mouth, end quote. Annette Rodriguez with the Health District says although face shields provide a barrier for people touching their face, there isn't enough data to prove that they provide better protection from germs.
A mask is better. It also goes under your chin, and so it completely protects you from spewing on others or from actually breathing in anything, that you don't want to be breathing in, especially germs from other people.
Rodriguez says the masks and shields aren't the only protections against the coronavirus, emphasizing that staying home when possible, washing your hands, and maintaining a 6-foot distance are all still best proactive preventions that you can take.